I love eggplant Parmesan. If you want a great eggplant Parmesan sandwich, go to Parmesan OB. Now, it's a little bit more difficult than what we usually do, but we've been doing this long enough that I think you can pull it off. Let's get cooking with style. Let's start off with a couple things. I'm cutting these in a little bit different fashion, the eggplant. I'm cutting them lengthwise. The reason for that is you can make each one of these a meal. Secondly, I'm gonna season both sides with a little kosher salt just to get that rolling here. And then I'm gonna flour these and let the flour kind of get a little moist on there so that when I do the egg wash and the breadcrumbs, it sticks just a little bit better. Sprinkle that over the top, lightly dusting the eggplant here. And we'll flip those over, do the same thing on each side. And then I'll show you how I make my Italian breadcrumbs. Now you can buy your breadcrumbs already made in the Italian form, but the reason I like to make them myself is because if I'm going to use my panko breadcrumbs and I don't want an Italian flavor, then I've got my plain panko breadcrumbs. My panko breadcrumbs, and then I use an Italian seasoning. This is a blend of different herbs and spices as opposed to just straight oregano. Salt and pepper. Really, that's how simple it is. And we're gonna give this a nice little toss. And this is gonna make the breading for our eggplant Parmesan. And then I'll get that set up. Now I gotta get my station set up here. And I'm pretty sure most of you know how to make an egg wash, but in case you don't, it's really simple. It's just 2 eggs and about 1/4 cup of water. And I've gone ahead and whipped that up. I'm gonna dip my eggplant in there, and I'm gonna do this over and over again. Use one hand that's wet and then one hand that's dry. So, because this wet hand is gonna get so messy, all right? I'm gonna put this guy in a medium-high oil. See that nice sizzle? All right, I'm gonna get those going. I'm gonna bread the rest of these up, and then we'll assemble this in just a minute. So these have been cooking about 4 or 5 minutes, and the reason I'm cooking them a little bit longer is you'll notice I'm making these cuts really thick. So each one of these is a nice meaty piece of eggplant, which will be enough for each serving. The last one's ready, and I like to put my eggplant right on the baking dish that I'm gonna use. So let's get these ready and pop them in the oven. I've got a nice little marinara. Now you can buy the jar ones, those are fine. We're making a little eggplant Parmesan. Now if you've got your favorite family recipe, you can do that. And I'm putting a good healthy portion. And those 2 ends, I buttered them together, and that's if someone's a little extra hungry there. And I've got my mozzarella cheese all grated up here. Oven set at about 375, 400 degrees. Try to keep most of the cheese on the eggplant there. And then we're gonna pop these in the oven, and you gotta keep an eye on them because you don't want this to get out of hand. And then we're just gonna take a little Parmesan cheese, sprinkle it over the top, hence the term eggplant Parmesan. And having my eggplant on the baking pan, I can just leave them on that. Almost got away, and in they go. All right, these are ready, nice and golden brown on the top. The cheese is looking fantastic. Everything is sizzling. Let's get this plated up. Now, I really want you to pay attention to this part right here. Don't forget to put down a little swath of marinara on the bottom because you don't want this sliding around. Let's take this one. That one looks really good. Put it in there like so. See, and then I add a little bit more juice to that. So now let's dress this up and make it even better. A little Parmesan cheese on top. You can do this if you'd like, you don't have to. I just particularly like crushed red peppers on the top and around on the plate. They spice things up just a little bit. And then, of course, a little of that Italian parsley. I grow this in my garden and it's absolutely fantastic. That's why I use it so much. Okay, so eggplant Parmesan. It's a classic. It looks hard, it's not. This is casual elegance. If you'd like this recipe and all the ones we're doing here on Cooking with Styles, go to our website, cbs8.com/recipes. That's Cooking with Styles.